Happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome back to As They Grow Up. This is Samantha, and today I'm excited to talk to you guys about a new series that I'm going to be starting here on our channel called Wellness Wednesdays. So stay tuned. So why Wellness Wednesday? Well, for me personally, I want to be healthy for not only myself, but for my family. My journey originally started 5 years ago. You see, I'm in my mind, I'm trying to think this. 5 years ago, because Luke is 6. Back when Luke was born, which was 6 years ago, he was born in November. I had a procedure, and because my husband and I decided that we didn't want any more children. We had our 4, and that was what completed our family. So we decided to do the procedure, which we thought at the time was a wonderful option because it was a surgery-free option. I blame myself a lot because I didn't research it the way I would normally research things. However, once I had that procedure done, I started having a lot of health problems. A lot. I suffered with depression. I was on blood pressure medicine. I was gaining weight like crazy. I was actually, at the time that I had this procedure removed via a hysterectomy, I was at the heaviest weight I'd ever been in my life. And this is even heavier than what I was during my pregnancies. So not only was I at the heaviest weight in my life, I was dealing with the depression. I was on the medication. I mean, I was having heart problems as well. So it was just ugly. It was terrible. So I had the hysterectomy in November or December of the following year. So that was in 2011. I had that procedure done. So I started my new year of 2012 off to start getting healthy. It was time for me to take my life back. I had to give it time because I had to heal from the hysterectomy. But once I got the go sign, I took off. I didn't go full force. I didn't want to set expectations that I couldn't reach. I didn't want to get frustrated. I didn't want any of that. So I started slow. I started with walking every day, and then I continued, and then I started slowly changing our eating habits. And I will tell you, I am someone who researches everything. I don't read one article and assume it's right. I want to cross-reference, and so I research everything. And so I started researching foods and GMO-free and organic and what's going to be the best option for our family. And over the time, I started changing our eating habits. Then I started working out more intensely. I actually started with Beachbody. I'm not a Beachbody coach, but I started out with, actually it was a Shalene workout. It was her weight one. I started out with that, and then I switched to more cardio type workout. However, I started getting in shape. Blood pressure, no more blood pressure medicine. My weight started getting under control. I was healthier. I could do things that I had my life back, guys. I could get out there and I could run and play with my kids. The depression was going away. It does not solve it, but it was helping. And so I had my life back and I was feeling amazing. Okay, well, this continued. Let's fast forward a few years. I was looking back at some pictures the other day, and this time last year, I was on my path to doing my first bodybuilding competition. I was 10 pounds or so away from where I should be, not weight-wise, but as far as leaning down in order to compete. And this was supposed to have been in March, I believe it was, of 2016. And you know what? I fell off. I was doing great in January, and I started going downhill. And I'm watching this snowball effect. You know, it's like, and then the food started. I plan our food. I meal prep. Meal prep is very important for me to stay on plan. I meal prep for my husband and I both. I meal prep breakfast, I meal prep lunch, and I meal plan our dinners. So everything is prepped and ready to go for the 5 days through the week. And as I stopped doing this, I also started watching our food choices get worse. So not only was my workouts not what they should be, our food choices were going downhill. Well, at one point, I gathered it back up and I started doing it again, and this was probably around April. Okay, so I didn't reach my goal of competing before I turned 40 because I turned 40 in June, and that's okay. But then I started slacking again. I started becoming overwhelmed. Depression set in. I felt like I was a failure at everything I did. I was not seeing results from working out, which in turn was not the working out. It was the choices I was making food-wise and things of that nature. And I wasn't working out hard. I was working out. I was going through the motions. But I wasn't passionate about it, if that makes sense. I was doing it to be doing it. And then that was it. And I was half doing it. I wasn't doing it like I should be doing it. And so over the course, I have just watched myself get worse. I'm started feeling more overwhelmed as the year has went on, 2016, and depression on and off, and just a roller coaster of emotions because of how I chose to not stick with my life plan. And it happens, guys. I'm not a failure. It happens. Life happens. But you know what? It is time to get up, dust myself off, and start fresh. And that is why I'm starting to bring you Wellness Wednesday. In this series, I want to cover healthy snacks. I want to cover the foods we eat, the exercises that we do. How do we stay in shape? How do we incorporate health and wellness with our children? How does that work out? I want to share all that with you guys. And so I'm looking forward to that. The first actual series video is going to be coming next Wednesday. This is just kind of an introduction, but I'm excited about it. The reason I'm doing this is not only for myself, but if there's anybody else going through that journey, I would love to hear. I would love to talk with you if you needed somebody to talk to. The buddy system is always wonderful. I do track my foods. I have been lazy, and you can look. I actually use my Fitness Pals to track it, and I think my username is As They Grow Up, just because everything is as they grow up. That's how I keep up with it. But you can look back and see where I started falling off the wagon, because I have not meal planned. I have not entered my food. I have not tracked my food, which is also an important tool for me. I usually keep my Fitness Pals on my phone, and so I'm going to start getting back to that and sharing that right now. So if you were to say, what are my workouts for right now? Right now, I started yesterday back to my lifting weights, which is a passion I have. It is a passion I have, and I love it. There's nothing else in the world that I love more when it comes to working out than lifting weights. I push myself to the limit, and it feels good. I also incorporate biking, because those that are familiar with our channel know that we do love biking. My husband is going to be competing in some races this year, so he's definitely going to be training on the bike. With him competing in some of the races, Davis, our 9-year-old, gosh, my goodness gracious, he's 9.5. He's going to be competing in some of the kids' races, and so it's time. It is the year to get us back on track, because not only, and I'm going to be honest here, not only have I noticed my health going down, because nobody told me that when I turned 40, the whole world was going to go upside down. Nobody shared that with me. So anyway, that is an issue as well. But anyway, I have noticed, we'll talk about me turning 40 some other time, about the changes I've made, but I've also noticed, since I have been very slack on meal planning and exercising, and you know what? Those little guys out there, they watch everything we do. So when we exercise, we set a good example. When we eat well, we set a good example. And I have noticed that as our eating and stuff has gotten unhealthier, and my exercising has went downhill, that they're not in good a shape as they were. They're not. Davis went bicycling yesterday with Ryan, and he almost couldn't do it. And that's sad. And it's our fault. It's that I can blame on us. That is our fault, because he is a child. So when we, I can blame my own lack of working out and eating healthy. That's my fault. I can't blame that on anyone. But when my child is unhealthy, that's me. And so that's my husband, and it is time for us to get it under control. So anyway, that is the gist of what we're going to be having on our Wellness Wednesday. I hope you guys can join us, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Have a wonderful and blessed day.